Today in Texas politics is where democracy goes to die quietly in a back room while politicians swear they're just making things fair, and where public service often means serving yourself a double helping of power. Welcome to Literal BS, the show where we don't just pull back the curtain on corruption. We rip it down, toss it in the shredder, and mail the pieces to the people responsible. Today we're talking about Texas gerrymandering, the latest in a long line of political power grabs that have now escalated to threats, arrests, and a public that is finally, visibly, undeniably fed up. Gerrymandering in Texas has always been about manipulating district lines to guarantee political advantage. But this year, the stakes are higher and the tactics more aggressive than ever. After the 2020 census, Texas experienced explosive population growth driven overwhelmingly by Black, Latino, Asian, and urban communities, earning the state 2 new congressional seats. In a functioning democracy, that growth would have meant new representation for those communities. But in the reality of Texas politics, that meant drawing lines with surgical precision to ensure those communities' influence was reduced, not strengthened. The Republican-led legislature took the census as a challenge, not an obligation, and used advanced voter data to crack minority communities into multiple districts where they'd be outnumbered, or pack them into a single district so their voting power couldn't influence outcomes elsewhere. The masterminds of this political engineering, Governor Greg Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, House Speaker Dade Phelan, and the army of political operatives and consultants they employ, have turned redistricting into a weapon of mass disenfranchisement, aided by deep-pocket donors and conservative think tanks like the Texas Public Policy Foundation. But this time, Democrats didn't just give speeches and lose on the floor, they walked out, literally. In a bold quorum break, dozens of Democratic lawmakers fled the state, heading to Arkansas, Illinois, and New York to deny Republicans the numbers they needed to pass their maps. This wasn't just symbolic. It was a calculated move to slow the process and force national attention on what was happening. And it worked. Headlines exploded, social media lit up, and suddenly, Texas redistricting wasn't just a local fight, it was a national one. The Republican response was as swift as it was heavy-handed. Civil arrest warrants issued for every absent Democrat, $500 a day fines authorized, and open threats to declare their seats vacant if they didn't return. Then came the federal escalation. Senator John Cornyn publicly called on the FBI to help locate the missing lawmakers, and FBI Director Kash Patel reportedly agreed to assist, raising the disturbing prospect of federal agents being deployed to track down elected officials for the crime of resisting a rigged map. And as if that wasn't enough to chill democracy, an Illinois hotel housing the Democrats was evacuated after a bomb threat, an unmistakable act of intimidation aimed at breaking their resolve. But instead of folding, they doubled down, issuing statements that they were safe, secure, and undeterred. What's playing out here is bigger than partisan politics. It's authoritarian gerrymandering, a coordinated combination of voter suppression, legal manipulation, and brute intimidation designed to silence millions of Texans. And it's not happening in a vacuum. This is the continuation of a long history of voting discrimination in Texas, supercharged by the Supreme Court's 2013 gutting of the Voting Rights Act in Shelby County versus Holder, which removed federal oversight and gave states like Texas a green light to push the limits. The impact is massive. School funding, infrastructure, healthcare access, and criminal justice reform all hang in the balance because of who holds power, and gerrymandering ensures that power doesn't reflect the will of the people. Texas is not a red state. It's a non-voting state, where millions either don't vote because they've been convinced it won't matter or can't vote. After all, the system is designed to keep it that way. But here's what's changing. People are starting to see the scam. Protests are spreading from Austin to Houston to Dallas, and even in rural counties, residents are speaking up at town halls, demanding accountability. Nationally, Americans are watching this like a political thriller, except the ending hasn't been written yet. And they're realizing that if Texas gets away with this, their state might be next. The solution isn't magic, but it is possible. Independent redistricting commissions that take the pen out of the hands of politicians, restoration of federal voting protections through the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, and relentless grassroots organizing that turns apathy into action. The courts will eventually decide the legality of these maps, but legality isn't morality, and Texans know it. This fight is about whether elections choose our leaders or our leaders choose their voters. And here's the catch. If we let them win this round, don't act surprised when the same tricks show up in your backyard. The anger is real, the frustration is boiling over, and for the first time in a long time, the people seem ready to match the politicians' determination move for move. So to everyone in Texas, Here's your choice. Let the lines drawn in backrooms decide your future, or stand up, speak out, and redraw the future yourself. Because the longer we stay quiet, the easier it is for them to silence us for good. This is literal BS, and I'm Rob reminding you that in Texas politics, the line between democracy and dictatorship isn't just thin, it's drawn by the very people who benefit from erasing yours.